Hello, hello, hello. Hello, lovely ladies, and welcome back to Promises Porch, where we talk all things about how to discover and develop your unique purpose. Today, we are going to talk about why you feel like you're going backwards, why you seem to be going backwards. And this whole idea of going backwards when you feel like you're moving forward is not new or unique to the human experience. It is something that everyone experiences, and especially when you're pursuing purpose, especially when you're moving forwards in your life. What that can look like is maybe you get a new job, maybe you finally start a new business, maybe you let go of some things. Like you let go of a certain friend that was not healthy to you, or set boundaries in place. Maybe you had started attending a new school, got baptized, started serving somewhere, whatever it looks like in your life of progressing, of moving forward, of pursuing purpose. Oftentimes there's disruption that comes. Oftentimes there are challenges and new obstacles and trials that come right alongside it, and you can sometimes feel like you're moving backwards, but no, that is not the case. And that feeling that you have is something that everybody experiences and is a part of the process and is a part of the journey. So I've got Bible today, and let's dive into this idea of going backwards or feeling like you're going backwards. I want to start off first by talking about how even Jesus went backwards, I guess, and not in the sense of, oh, he sinned or different things, but he knows what it is to feel like going backwards. He knows what it is to essentially experience purpose, experience calling, and then right afterwards be led into temptation. So it's Matthew chapter 3, right here, and I'll read it. So in Matthew chapter 3, verse 13, Jesus is getting baptized, and it's such a beautiful scene because John the Baptist baptizes him. And here's how it goes. I'll start by reading verse 13, and it says, "Then Jesus came from Galilee to the Jordan to John to be baptized by him. John would have prevented him, saying, 'I need to be baptized by you, and do you come to me?' But Jesus answered him, 'Let it be so now, for thus it is fitting for us to fulfill all righteousness.' Then he consented. And when Jesus was baptized, immediately he went up from the water, and behold, the heavens were opened to him, and he saw the Spirit of God descending like a dove and coming to rest on him. Behold, a voice from heaven said, 'This is my beloved Son, with whom I am well pleased.'" I'm going to stop right there for a second. That is such a beautiful image of Jesus getting baptized, the beginning or almost walk into his ministry. And it starts with his identity and how God says, "This is my Son with whom I'm well pleased." And all of us undergo that experience where we realize, this is what I'm called to do. This is who I am. This is what I'm going to do. This is the business I'm going to start. This is the job that I'm going to have. This is my major. This is my school. You go through that experience where you just feel fulfilled of, yes, I'm going to do this. Yes, this is who I am without a doubt. And then right after that, chapter 4, verse 1 says, "Then Jesus was led up by the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted by the devil." And through that, of course, the rest of the passage is just him undergoing this temptation. And then because after he had fasted for 40 days and 40 nights, he was hungry and thirsty, and here comes the devil tempting him. And Jesus, being the amazing person he is, and being God and being holy, and being perfect, he resists temptation and ultimately overcomes it, and angels minister to him and he regains his strength. But it's so interesting that right after he was just called and had this beautiful moment where who he is announced, and God says, "This is my son with whom I'm well pleased." Right after this moment, right after he's baptized, right after the almost initial start of his ministry, bam, he's led into the wilderness to be tempted. And some people on the outside looking in would think, oh, he's going backwards. Like, this doesn't seem right. Like, usually it goes, okay, bam, here's who you are. And then comes, oh, the ministry, all these different miracles. But no, he was tempted. And it's the same with us. We undergo a similar transformation where we get baptized, we get this idea, this understanding of who we are, and then all of a sudden, some old habit that we thought we got rid of years ago or weeks ago comes rearing its ugly head back again, and we're struggling. Or maybe some new trial comes our way, or just whatever circumstance it is, it can be frustrating, can feel like we're going backwards, and can make us question who we are, question what we're doing, and can just be so discouraging and overwhelming. But I want you to know that, sweetheart, you are not going backwards, and this does not negate who you are. This does not diminish the calling and anointing on your life. Yes, this temptation, yes, this trial is here. It is evident. There is no doubt about that. But it doesn't change who you are. It doesn't change the beauty and the purpose that is within you. Don't doubt that. Keep moving forward. Keep pressing on. Keep taking it day by day. I'm going to read another verse. It is Matthew 26:41. Matthew 26:41. And it says, "Watch and pray that you may not enter into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak." I feel like oftentimes the cause for this almost backsliding, it feels like, is sometimes we let our guard down. And I'll be honest, I am one of those people where we'll get into this space, we'll get into this season, we'll have this day where it's like, okay, I know what I'm going to do. I feel great. Everything's going great. And we'll let our guard down against old habits that we have. We'll let our guard down against bad thought patterns that we've had, push them away or not worry about it. And the next you know, something happens, we're triggered, and it rears its ugly head and comes right back up again. And this verse is saying that you got to watch, you got to pray, you got to still be on guard. Even when things seem to be going great, you got to be on guard. And remember that. Remember to continue to put on the armor of Christ, and remember, like, okay, at any point, I can be tempted. At any point, I can fall right back into it. And I have to rely on God and rely on His strength. Another verse that I want to read is James 1:24. And it says, James 1:2-4. James 1:2-4 says, "Count it all joy, my brothers, when you meet trials of various kinds, for you know that the testing of your faith produces steadfastness. And let steadfastness have its full effect, that you may be perfect and complete, lacking in nothing." So even though you feel like you're going backwards, even though you're going through this difficult time, this trial, know that at the end of the day, it's all going to turn for your good. Know that it's only going to make you stronger. You're going to be able to learn from this experience. You're going to learn what not to do next time. You're going to learn how to cope and better manage your emotions. You're going to learn how to develop a better, more positive mindset. You're going to learn how to better develop and care for the things that God has given you. You're going to better learn how to steward. That's the word. You're going to better learn how to steward your finances or the assets that have been entrusted to you, whether that be your time, some physical assets, or whatever it is. You're going to learn from this. You're going to grow. And even though it feels like you're going backwards, know that it's turning out for your good. This is something, an experience that is, you're not alone. It is not unique in the sense of nobody else has gone through this. No, everybody goes through this. And especially if you are discovering your calling, discovering who you are, especially if you feel you've been baptized or have accepted Christ and are walking this walk of faith. It's coming, and know that you're not alone. And it's something that we all experience. And I want to encourage you to keep pressing on. Don't let this overtake you. I've been there, and it can be so discouraging to make so much progress and then all of a sudden feel like you're going backwards. Don't stop now. Keep going. Keep moving forward. That which you sow in tears, you will reap in joy. Remember that. So, some ways that you can keep moving forward are to keep pursuing the Lord, keep being in prayer, keep setting boundaries, being mindful and watchful. That's the first one, being mindful and watchful. Set those boundaries. Another thing that you can do to keep moving forward is honestly give yourself patience, give yourself grace. A lot of times we'll get into this negative thought space and shame ourselves and condemn ourselves, and that's not the way to do it. If you continue to have this negative mindset, if you continue to shame and guilt yourself after messing up, feeling like you're going backwards, that's only going to make things worse. That's just going to increase anxiety. So take a deep breath, give yourself some grace, give yourself some patience, and continue to move forward. Give yourself grace, set boundaries, stay on watch. And another final thing is to learn from your mistakes. When moving forward, learn from your mistakes. Look back and think like, okay, what caused this? What triggered this? If it was within your control, there are some circumstances and trials that we may be hit with that are completely outside of our control, but just come as a result of us moving forward. And if it's out of our control, continue to trust and surrender it to Him. But if it's an old habit that you adopted, a mindset or some sort of sin that you can't seem to shake, think back, okay, like what triggered me this time? How can I change? How can I move forward? What do I need to let go of? This also ties back into the previous point of setting boundaries. Those two are kind of linked, setting boundaries, but just being mindful and watchful of, okay, how can I learn from this? How can I better be a steward of my time? How can I adopt new mindsets? How can I cope better? What do I need to change? What do I need to shift so this doesn't happen again? But do know that if it does and when it does, you are not alone. And again, I can't stress enough. Keep moving forward. Keep moving forward. Keep moving forward. You're not going backwards. You got this. I believe in you. I love you guys. And I'll see you next time. Bye.